What's up, guys, and welcome back to Haddon's Happenins. Um, Thank you guys for the love that you've been showing on this, on the window, on everything. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna keep it coming. We got a lot of things planned, a lot of things in the works, so I'm really excited. So starting out with what's up with me? I got cast in a show for our UT New Theater program, which will be in the spring, and I'm excited about that. And I am recording a lot of these. I'm recording some Haddon's Happenins, recording a lot of the window episodes over the course of the next week or so. So those will be releasing every week on Friday. Really excited to have these conversations with these amazing people. Just really, I can't wait. These are my favorite people. And then also, I am working on a little project. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, you'll see another video on my YouTube channel. But if not, just keep a lookout. Um, but yeah, I've been doing a lot. I'm writing, coming up with new video ideas for you guys. Like it's been a whirl. Um, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited to keep going forward, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Um, Now, what am I into right now? Still into Pokemon, of course. Like that game is so fun. I love it so much. I've been listening to a lot of. I'm gonna start this new segment actually, and I just came up with this idea right now. So if I forget and like never do it again, just yell at me. Um, I'm gonna call it Haddon's Music Corner because I listen to a lot of music. I love music. It's like such a big part of me. I'm gonna talk about this one artist, Solely Had, who I've been listening to constantly. I've been listening to specifically one song called Paralyzed, off of his album, his soul album. But I've also been listening to that album on repeat, to him on repeat. He's fairly new, not super well known, and I just love him so much. And it's been so good. The sound is so vibrant. He does such a good job layering to make it feel like ambient. The background vocals and the instrumentals. He makes his voice very instrumental in those vocals as well. I love it so much. It's great. Go check him out. Love that guy. Um, I watched a movie, Sorry Baby by Eva Victor last night, and I almost cried. And that's saying a lot. Like, I haven't yet cried at a movie. That one got me pretty close. It was so good. Go check it out. It's on HBO Max streaming right now. Um, it's so good. It's her directorial debut. It's she wrote it, directed it, and starred in it herself. It's so good. Go watch it, please. Everyone needs to watch that. Um, Speaking of that, we can get into the world of the arts. I think a big problem that I'm seeing more and more people talk about, which is good, is that there isn't very much diversity in filmmaking. And we see a lot of these pioneers of like new ways of filmmaking and like independent film, like Sean Baker, Mark Duplass, and all these other people. But we're still not seeing very many people of color, not just in the upper regime, but in people who are starting to gain traction as like independent filmmakers. Um, and that's in race, ethnicity, even gender. Like we are not seeing nearly the volume of female representation in film that we need to be honest with you. Um, I saw Kristen Stewart talk to, I believe it was the Hollywood Reporter about that. And I'm glad people are saying something because like the smartest and most passionate and strongest people I know are all women. Just like full stop. Which makes sense with the amount of bullshit they have to go through on a day-to-day basis and throughout the course of their life with like a government trying to control them and their bodies and like tell them who they can and can't be and what they are and aren't allowed to do and all that. But yeah, I think I'm seeing more people speak up about the problem, and the speaking up is the good part, especially these like very pertinent, very high profile um, people. Like I'm really glad to start seeing some more movement, stuff like that. Uh, so as far as the arts go, that's something I've been really like locked in on recently. Um, Yeah, and then we get to sports question mark. Exclamation point. Uh, the day this is recording, I forgot to say that, is November 6th. And this should be going up on November 8th, I believe. But to start out our sports, the Cowboys had a crazy trade deadline. Gave up a lot picks wise, but still like got a lot of bang for their buck. They got a more than competent linebacker, which they needed. They got a more than competent D tackle, which they needed, in Quentin Williams, who can stop the run, which is something they've struggled against all year. Um, that's great. UT took down, I can't remember who, um, in football, and Arch Manning won SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Like, it was great. And then UT basketball went up against Duke and actually made it a little bit of a fight until the end of the second half. The Dallas Mavericks are continuing to struggle. They're really trying to figure out what works. Their roster, like half of their roster is injured, and they're trying to try new things, see if this will work here, but if that works here, then how does this work here? Like, they played the Pelicans last night. Coop had a crazy good game. It's just the firepower wasn't there. Team wise, the connectivity between the teams still feels slow and sluggish on both sides of the ball. Now, with all of the actual sports news out of the way, I wanted to get to a little bit more of a serious topic. It was announced today that Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland passed away at the age of 24 due to suicide. And I hope that this gains a lot of attention, because it really needs to. I mean, we're seeing the male loneliness epidemic, which is we need to instill into our youth, our male youth and our female youth, that like you are enough, and like you can find self gratification and satisfaction in your life, and you don't need to rely on people, but you also don't have to hide yourself from people. And that's like a balance that we are trying to find still as a society, and telling our children that. And that's like a whole different topic. But also just on mental health, there's always another option. And I remember growing up when I was struggling, I used to hate hearing that, because I was like, all the other options I've tried and they don't work. But clearly they worked for me. I made it. I made it this far, and I'm going to continue to make it as far as I can. So talk to someone, hell, DM me on Instagram, go to therapy, go to a psychiatrist. I'm not a trained professional by any means, but I can help you get to who you need to talk to. There's so many different helplines. Please call, text someone. That's what they're there for. You're not bothering them by making them do their job, okay? I promise you. You are loved. And even if you don't feel like it, I love you. You are worthy. You are more than enough. You are incredible just the way you are. Your imperfections are what make you perfect. Okay? And I say that with full sincerity. Please just talk to someone. Moving on, American news. We'll get to the good stuff towards the end of the video, but Chicago is still being run rampant with ICE, the borderline military agency, which is actually a secret masked police force that Trump is using to silence critics. They have now said in a courtroom, it was announced today, that they will arrest people based purely off of political views and what they say. AKA, they will silence people using their First Amendment right. They dragged a daycare worker out of the daycare, like grabbed her, and they were sweeping rooms with guns, and these rooms had children in them. You're taking the families away from these kids at school, and you're radicalizing them in our eyes as like a progressive party in a good way, because they're saying like no ICE, like you're breaking up families. It's, they're having empathy, which is something that the far right doesn't seem to have. Um, and I'm sad, man. I'm really sad about everything that's happening. Texas is still rough. Uh, Greg Abbott just dismissed a UT assistant or vice chair of administrative affairs due to difference in political opinions, yet again silencing the First Amendment. Like it's real rough. Um, I'll get to some hope that I have after I'm done with these next few things, but just please, please, please protect yourself, talk to your loved ones, talk to your family. We're gonna beat this. Like hands down, we are. We just are. He doesn't have the numbers. Um, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he just said that the Democrats want to impeach Trump so he only has 2 years instead of four, and take him off the ballot for after his fourth year, which would be the end of his second term, which means constitutionally he is ineligible to run for president again. And so they're saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying that they are planning for Donald J. Trump to run for a third term as president of the United States. And they're right. If the Democrats do win the Senate, we're going to try and impeach him. Like, of course, the man who is fueling hate and war and discrimination at an unheard of level. Yes, we want to impeach him. Absolutely, 100%. He has the lowest approval rating in US history, and you're trying to protect him. I don't understand that. The Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, came and spoke at UT's Turning Point USA thing. I don't know. But he talked about his struggles and like being brave enough to speak out. And I got pissed after I read that, because you're actively making it harder for more qualified people to get the success that you've been blessed with. Um, so yeah, just keep a lookout, stay informed, vote, call your Congress people, all that. Next is international news, and I'm going to talk about Sudan. Um, I mean, seeing blood from space, that's insane. Okay? They're killing so many people. You can see blood staining the sand from space. Of course, I'm talking about the RSF being used by the United Arab Emirates to attack the Sudan people. And this is, I saw that there's this Chicago-born rapper. He does a lot of political videos as well. His name is Vic Mensa, and he was talking about how, like, Sudanese people were historically black, like those in Egypt were historically black, but that culture and that history has been scrubbed over as an Arab culture. And he was saying, like, well, I stand with Palestine. He went there and he was getting called slurs. And he said, the injustices that are put onto you do not excuse the injustices that you put onto me. And he was saying that as a black man, of course, and I'm not saying that as that, but this regime, the UAE, is trying to ethnically cleanse Sudan and more. They've been at this for years, and they're just now getting the footing to actually make a march to do the most extreme. And I mean that with full sincerity. So please, please, please inform yourself. Tell people. I don't care if you have a platform. I don't care if you don't have a platform. Go and tell people. Go and tell your friends, your family, educate them. I don't care if they're a hard listen. I don't care if they're stubborn. Inform them. Just make the information spoken to them. That's it. That's all you can do. And that's all you should do, okay? Please, please, please just spread the info. I mean, send out like good thoughts for Sudan, but also like actually take action, protest, all of these things, please. Yeah. Next up is our Womp Squared segment. Um, I'm gonna try and think of like a non-political Womp Squared. Um, I mean, I think like a fairly, that is political, is just that everything is so expensive. Everything is so expensive, and it's mostly due to Trump's tariffs, of course. But it's also like just crazy inflation rates across the globe. Um, and the US is a large reason that across the globe there is high rates of inflation. And so, man, shit is expensive. Like the new Xbox is going to come out and it's like a couple grand. You think I have that money? That's crazy. That's insane. Um, but yeah, that's my womp womp. And then we're gonna end on a good thing, and this good thing is the Democrats basically swept the elections that ended on November 4th. We have Zohran Mamdani rightfully winning the mayoral position of New York, and then we had winnings in Virginia and New Jersey that were huge swings. Um, in Texas, we saw a lot of confusion with some propositions and how they were worded, and they do that in order to confuse us. And so, like, a lot of people voted no for Prop Q because they thought it's, oh, I'm just going to be paying a shit ton more in taxes. And in reality, it's like a negligible amount for those of you who are like lower middle class workers. And if you're upper class, it's also negligible percentage wise, but you are paying like money that is important for like homelessness and things like this. But they're still going to keep complaining about homelessness. That's a whole other thing. That's not good news. But UT had its most voter turnout for a non-primary year in history. That's incredible. Like that's our movement is increasing at such a rate with our age range of like 18 to 30-ish that we're getting to the point where just that age range, we're like it's closer to 18 to 45, and then 45 and up are still voting in the same bracket that they've been voting, but 18 to we'll say 40, that's enough votes to fully decide an election. And so the more we reach out to our peers, the more momentum we're starting to get. And this is going to snowball into more momentum for our movement of equality and of peace and love for everyone. Please, please, please. Just love everyone. It's really not hard. It's actually more difficult to hate people. Um, but anyways, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me, and I hope y'all have a good day.